All right, so for those of you that are just joining us now, today we'll be needing a set of hand weights and our floor mats. If we don't have hand weights, you always can use bottled waters or cans, or feel free to do them without the weights as well. The floor mat we'll use for our power move series, which are in that quadruped position. So fancy way of saying on all fours. We have the option to also do them in the seated position or in a modified position with the chair. We'll go over those when it's closer to that time as well. So today we're going to be working on some dynamic balance and dual tasking. So being able to maintain our balance while we're doing multiple things. Go ahead and we'll start with our warm-ups. We're going to sit up nice and tall. I want you to scooch forward towards the edge of your seat. We're going to open up our feet a little bit so we have a nice space of support using all those postural muscles. So we're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders rolled back. We'll start with some breaths in with bringing our hands up overhead. So we're going to take a deep breath in as we bring the arms up. You'll pause for a moment, and then as we exhale, we'll bring the arms back down. We'll do 5 here. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. All right, next we'll do range of motion at our neck. So we're going to alternate in between looking up at the ceiling, looking down at the ground, and we'll alternate until we get to 10. So 5 in each direction. So I look up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then looking over our shoulders. So we'll do 5 starting from a neutral position, looking over the right shoulder, and then we'll switch and do 5 from that neutral position, looking over the left shoulder. Looking to the right and back to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then switching. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, we'll do our shoulder shrugs with circles. We'll do 5 shrugging up and squeezing the shoulder blades together in that backwards direction. And then we'll switch into the forward direction. So shrugging up and back, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then reversing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then stretching at the chest, we're going to start with our palms facing towards us. And then open nice and wide. Feel that stretch in the front part here. And then they go back into that starting position. And we'll do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Next, we're going to bring our arms up nice and tall and then pull them down into W position and then up and back down. And we'll do 5 here. Up and 1, up, 2, up, 3, good, 4. We're getting that nice tall posture through the trunk with this one, working those muscles in our mid back. Last one. And 5. Good. Next we'll do our power up. So with this one, we're going to bring our hands down to our laps. Our chest comes forward towards the lap. You're going to push up big and strong and open at our arms. And we'll do 5 here. Coming down, power up, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5. Good. Next, we're going to do our power rock. So power rock is good with weight shifting. I'm going to bring all my weight heavy down to one side. I'm going to kick the other side leg out and reach up towards the ceiling with my other arm. The head follows the hand. Then I bring it back into that starting position. Opposite arm goes down, kick the leg out and reaching up. We'll do 10 total. So down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, we're going to reach forward with our hands. So forward, leaning as far as we can at our body. The fingers come out wide. As I sit up nice and tall, I'm going to do a row and making fists with my hands. We'll do 10 total here. So I reach forward and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, we're going to do some flutter wrists. So with this one, I'm going to bring both arms out and straight forward. One fingers are going to be pointed towards the ceiling. On the upper side, I'm going to flex the wrist so that the fingers are pointed down towards the ground. And then we're going to switch. So we'll alternate until we get to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Next, we're going to do our power step. So with this one, opening up the hips, I'm going to step out nice and wide with one leg, and then I'm going to bring it back in. So we'll do 5 starting with that right side. When we finish that 5, then we'll switch to the left. So stepping, big step out and back in. That's 1. And out. 2. And 3. 4. 5. And switching to the opposite side, stepping out and back in. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Next, we're going to switch in between our heels up and our toes up at the feet. We'll alternate until we get to 10 here. So warming up those ankle muscles. I'm gonna come up onto my toes so that my heels are off the ground. And then I'm gonna switch and my toes come up. So heels up, 1, toes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then last one, we'll do some seated marches, opposite hand, opposite arm. So I'm gonna bring my right arm up, my left leg comes up, and then back down, and nice big swing on the opposite side. And we'll alternate till we get to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so you can go ahead and get a drink of water now that we're nice and loose. We're going to start with our first series of exercises. So for this, we have 4 different exercises. We'll start with a minute in each position, and we'll have 30 seconds to rotate into the next exercise. So the first one that we're going to do is a power up in a standing position with an overhead reach. Then we're going to do a forward step over an obstacle. We can use our hand weight to step over, and we're going to turn to that same side that we're stepping over with the leg. And then we're going to do a side step with a call out, with a task call out. So we'll have 3 different tasks. So clapping in front, clapping with our hands to our thighs, and clapping overhand. So if I say 1, as we step, we're going to clap together. If I say 2, as we step, we'll clap our thighs, and then 3 will be overhead. We're going to end in a seated position. We'll do overhead press. We're going to push up overhead with counting by 2s with our right hand, counting backwards from 50 with the left hand. So I'll show you what those look like here in a second. So that first one, we have our power up with overhead reach. So I come down, power up, and then arms go up overhead, and then down, oops, power up, and arms go up overhead. So that will be the first exercise that we do. The second one, we can use a chair here if we need to as well. And we'll do 2 different circuits. So we'll start first with one side and then we'll switch to the other. So with this one, I have my hand weight in front of me on the ground, taking a big step over with my right foot, and I'm turning and looking over my right shoulder and then coming back. So that will be the second exercise. The third exercise, we're going to do a side step with that call out. So again, we can use that chair as needed. I take a big step to the side, and if I say 1, we clap in front. A big step to the side. If I say 2, hands come to the thighs. A big step to the side. If I say 3, we're clapping overhead. So those are the 3 different call outs that will be 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then the last one will be our overhead seated presses. So sitting down, I'm going to count by 2s with my right. So 2, and I'm counting backwards by 1s from 50 with my left. So this will be 50, 4, 49, and so on and so forth. All right. So we'll get started. That first one is going to be that power up with the overhead reach. As always, we have the option to do it in the seated position. So if you need to, just go into that power up and to bringing the arms up overhead in a seated position. And then same thing with the other one. We can do a forward step, having the hand weight over there, still stepping forward with your leg. And turning to the side. All right. Let me get us set up. So only using the hand weights as an obstacle for that second one, for the forward step, and for our overhead press. And we'll get started with those power ups. So power up with an overhead reach. Let's take off in about 10 seconds. All right, starting. So I come down, power up, and nice and long, back down, power up, and arms come overhead. Good. Up and over. Good. And halfway there. Looks good. Last 10 seconds. Good. So switching to that next one, I'm going to put my hand weight on the ground so I have something to step over. I'm going to start with my right foot, stepping over, turning with my head looking to the right. Okay? And we'll take off in about 10 seconds. Good, exaggerate, step over, turning, looking to that right, coming back, and again, using that chair as needed if we need to have some help with the balance. So when we're walking or when we're stepping over something, our attention's not always on that obstacle ahead of us. Maybe somebody's talking to us, or we hear a noise and we're distracted for a moment. So we need practice of those scenarios. Good, we're halfway there. And last 10 seconds. Good. So switching to those side steps, and again, those different scenarios, we have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to call out. So as we step to left, step to the right. And we take off in about 10 seconds. Good, big step. 1, big step. 2, big step. 3, big step. 2, big step. 1, big step. 3, big step. 1, big step. 2, big step. 3, big step. 2, good, more than halfway there. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, less than 10, 3, 1. Good. So last one's in that seated position, okay? I'm not gonna count because I don't want to mess up your counting. Just remember in that seated position, when we press up with our right, we're counting up by 2. When we press up with the left, we're counting backwards by 1 from 50. Okay, we take off in a little under 10 seconds. Good, so pressing up. Halfway there. Good, less than 10. All right, go ahead and get a drink of water. We're gonna start from the top with those power ups and overhead reaches here. Good, we'll take off in about 20 seconds. So if we had stepped over with our right on that second exercise for this series, now we're gonna step over with our left and look to the left. Looks like everybody's just about ready. We're gonna start from the top with those power ups and reaching overhead. All right, starting. So coming down, power up, and reaching up high, and back down, up, high. Good. Everybody looks so good. Halfway there. Good, less than 10. All right. Put that weight on the floor. Again, if you stepped over with the right side, this time we're gonna step over with the left foot and we're looking over the left shoulder as we do that motion. And we take off in about 10 seconds. And step over, turn my head to the left. Good. Looks good, halfway there. Last 10. All right, getting ready for those side steps. With the call out, again, we have 1, 2, 3, okay? This time I'm just gonna call them out. I'm not gonna actually do them, okay? And we take off here in about 10 seconds. Okay, step to the side, 3, step to the side, 2, step to the side, 1, step to the side, 3, to the side, 1, to the side, 2, to the side, 1, to the side, 3, to the side, 2, 30 seconds, side, 1, side, 2, side, 3, side, 1, side, 2, side, 3, side. All right. And we have seated overhead presses. Again, let's switch it up. Let's count backwards with right by 1s, and we'll count forwards with left by 2s. So just reverse of what we just did. So we'll count backwards with the right, forwards by 2s with the left. Looks good. We're halfway there. Last 10 seconds. All right, go ahead and get a drink of water. That's the end of the first circuit. We have one more circuit, kind of similar. We'll have 3 exercises this time, but still a minute in each exercise and 30 seconds to rotate. So take some time, get a water, and about a half a minute, we'll go over those exercises. All right. Okay. Looks like everybody's just about headed back. We'll go over that next series. And again, we have 3 exercises, 1 minute in each exercise, 30 seconds to rotate. The first one, we're gonna start in a seated position. We're gonna do a sit to stand with our power rock. Next, we'll do weight shifting with the crossbody reach. And then in a seated position, we're gonna do a dead bug with our hand weights. So starting with that first one, we have our sit to stand. When we're in the standing position, we're gonna rock left and right, and then back into the seated position. So I stand up. I'm gonna rock and reach. My eyes are gonna go towards my hand to the center position and rock and reach in the opposite. Then I'm gonna sit back down in the chair. So up, rock, and rock. If I wanted to do it in the seated position, I can also do my power up. And then I can do a rock to reach here. Okay, so that would be the option. The next one, we have weight shifting with crossbody reaches. So with this one, and again, I can use the chair for assistance if needed, as little or as much as needed. I'm gonna rock my weight all to the right side and reach across my body. And then back. So this one we'll do on one side. Once we finish the first circuit of exercises, the second round we'll do the left side. And then back into the seated position. We're gonna do dead bugs, seated dead bugs here. So with this one, opposite arm, opposite leg are gonna come up. I'm gonna keep my weight onto the leg that's going up to give a little bit of resistance as I switch, so. And that will be the third exercise. So we have our our sit to stands with our rocks. So sit to stand, rock, rock, and then our weight shifting with reaching across body. And then the last one would be that seated dead bug. So the first two without hand weights, and that last one we'll use the hand weights. And we'll get started. So starting with those sit to stands with our rock and reach. You ready? Started. So rocking right, rocking left, and then sitting back down into the chair. Good. And up. All right, halfway there. So sit to stands are always a good way to functionally strengthen your legs and improve your moving balance. Good. Last 10 seconds. All right. So switching to that weight shifting. So weight shifting, I'm putting all my weight into my right leg. And I'm reaching with my left arm across my body. So I switch all my weight here and reach across body, back in, okay? We take off in about 10 seconds. All right, switch. Put weight onto that right. Good. Halfway there. And last 10 seconds. Good. And sitting down for those dead bugs next. But this one, I want to sit up nice and tall. When I'm bringing my arm and my leg up, I want to try to avoid leaning backwards so that I'm keeping those muscles in my abdomen engaged. We take off in a little under 5. Good. Looks good. Halfway there. Good, last 10 seconds. All right. Go ahead and get a drink of water. We're going to start from the top here. So starting at the top with those sit to stands and the rock and reaches. We'll take off in about 20 seconds. Good. Looks like everybody's just about back. We're going to start with those sit to stands with our rock and reaches. So I stand up and rock one side, opposite side, back to the chair. More than halfway there. Looks so good. Last 10 seconds. All right. So next I'm shifting my weight towards the left. So the chair here on my left side. All my weight shifts onto the left foot as I reach across my body. Okay, and we take off in about 10 seconds. Good, starting, shift my weight, reach across body, and back. Good. We want to make sure we're standing nice and tall, keeping those belly muscles engaged as well. More than halfway there. Good, last 10 seconds. All right. Our seated dead bugs. We take off in about 10 seconds. Good, and again, sitting up nice and tall, try to resist the urge to lean backwards when you're bringing your arm and leg up, okay? And that will help to increase those abdominal muscles. Looks good. Halfway there. Last 10 seconds. All right. Right, go ahead and get a drink of water. We're gonna go through the power series next. So first we'll do the power moves. We'll do 10 repetitions of each position, and then we'll flow them together. We'll link them together in a power flow. So as I said, we're gonna do in that quadruped position, sort of fancy way of saying like on our hands and knees in a tabletop. We always have the option to do it in the seated position. We go over a lot of those moves in the warm up, everything except for that power twist where we're coming out to the T and opening up. But all the rest that we do in that seated position is warm up. So we have that power up, that power rock, the twist we just went over, and the power step. So that would be the option if you wanted to do it in the seated position. Otherwise, either modified with the chair or on the ground. So we'll go over those right now. So that first one, our power rock, we're start in the tabletop position. So making sure that my hands are underneath my shoulders. My knees are gonna be underneath my wrists. From this position, I'm gonna lower my body down and push and come up tall. So that will be my power up. My power rock, I'm gonna bring my hands a little bit in front of my shoulders for this one. And I'm gonna sit back towards my heels. And then I'm gonna rock forward. If I can, I'll drop my hips, okay? So that is our power rock. Our power twist, we're gonna go back to that starting position with our hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I'm gonna take one hand and I'm gonna thread it through the space that's created by my opposite arm and leg. So I go through and then I twist up. And I'll do this one alternating in between that left and right. The last one is going to be the power step. Couple options with the step. If you'd like, you can just step forward and alternate like this. Otherwise, you can come all the way up and back down into this position here. We'll do 10 repetitions of each. So for the power up and the power rock, we'll do 10. With the step and the power twist, we'll alternate until we get to 10. So we'll end up doing 5 of each on each side for that one. If we're doing it in that modified position, all the moves stay the same, but we can do it instead of getting on the floor, we can do it with a chair. So still that same thing. I have my power up. Let me pan up here for a minute. So power up would be here. That power rock, I'm gonna rock backwards and rock forwards. Okay, and then twist. And the step, you can either step to the side of the chair or just as we did on the floor, step and come up. Okay? But I would encourage you guys, if you can, to join me on the ground. And we'll do 10 repetitions of each, starting with that power up. All right, coming down and power up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, switching to that power rock. So again, my hands are going to be a little bit in front of my shoulders for this one if you're on the floor. Okay, I'm going to rock back and forward, and that's 1, and back and forward, 2, and back, forward, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Next, we're going to go into the power twist, and we're going to alternate till we get to 10 in between that right side and left side. So again, I start with that right side, thread it in that space in between my body and my left arm, and then reach up towards the ceiling. My eyes are following my hand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
She scrolls up just for a second. She might get kicked out and she'll come right back in. It happens when you work inside the hospital sometimes. Let's see where she at.
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey.
Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. Let's, so we just did our power twist. The last one that we'll do is the power step. And we'll alternate till we get to 10 here too, okay? So again, you have the option to either just step next to your hands or come all the way up tall, okay? So from this position, I'm gonna step with my right and I'm gonna come all the way up and back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the last one that we'll do is we're just gonna link it together into a power flow. So with this one, it just means that we're gonna do them in succession. So I'm gonna start from that power up, go straight into my power rock, into my power twist right left, and then into my power step right left. I'm gonna show you just 1 rep first, and then we'll do 5 reps together. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that power up. Good. Coming back down, I'm gonna rock back towards my heels and then dropping my hips and twist with the right arm, twist with the left arm, and step right, step left. Okay, so we'll start from the top. We'll do 5 repetitions together, and just flowing them together. So coming down, power up, good, and getting ready for that rock. Good, and twisting. And we'll step. Good. And step. Good. Going right up to the top with that power up. Power up. And rock back. And forward. Twisting next. And step. Good, that's 2. And third one's up. It's good. We're rocking and now twist. Last one, step. Good, that's 3. And power up. Good. Last one, stepping. One more rep left. Down. Power up. Good. All right, we did it. So all we have left is just our cool down, okay? So we'll get into our chairs, we'll do some stretches, and that'll be it for today. All right, so we'll start with that upper trap stretch. I'm gonna bring my right ear towards my right shoulder. My left hand can anchor underneath to keep my shoulder from shrugging. And if you'd like, you can give yourself some overpressure pulling on that same side. So right arm pulling towards the right shoulder. And when we stretch, it should feel like a good moderate stretch, but it shouldn't feel painful. Good. And we'll switch sides so that left ear comes to the left shoulder, giving overpressure. Good. Next, we're going to stretch the back of our shoulder. So we'll bring our right arm across our body. The left arm's going to hug it into the body just a little bit above where that elbow is. And we'll do some wrist circles. And reversing those circles. And switching sides. So now that left arm's coming across my body. I'm going to hug it in with my left just above the elbow. And we do some wrist circles. And reversing those circles. Good. And now let's stretch the back of our leg, those muscles. So you're gonna have the legs straight out in front of you. You don't want to bend at the knee because of the attachment point of the hamstring muscle that'll put it on slack if the knee is bent. And you're gonna lean forward towards your toes. So you should feel it in the back of the thigh. And we'll switch sides. That left leg comes all the way straight. We're gonna bend forward, trying to keep your back in a neutral position too. So we don't wanna hunch our back as we're doing this. We wanna sit up nice, tall, keeping the back straight. Good. And next we'll stretch the back of the hip. We're gonna bring our knee in towards our chest. If it causes knee pain, we can always hold behind the leg here. And then just like we did with the wrists, we'll do some ankle circles. Reverse those circles. Good. And switching sides. Reversing. All right. Last thing we'll do, let's do that butterfly stretch, okay? So we're gonna interlace our fingers and then we're gonna gently place it just on the back of our neck. We're gonna fold the elbows in as we round the back, exhaling our breath. And then as we sit up, we take a nice breath in, pulling the elbows apart. Good. We'll do 5 here. So exhale, elbows come in, rounding spine. And sitting up tall. And elbows as wide as we can get them, and taking a breath in. That's 1. And 2. 3. 4. And 5. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Enjoy the rest of your day.